One of the strongest commanders in Arena, period. Hello, my friends, it's Johnaroth coming to you with another new Lorwyn Eclipse commander, and this is deceptively one of the better commanders of the set, in my opinion. This is Abigail, Eloquent first year. Abigail is a 1/1 with flying, first strike, and lifelink. For 2 mana, you can either pay white mana, black mana, or a combination of the two. So meh, not so great stats. But the ability of the card is actually pretty good with the right deck. When Abigail enters, up to one other target creature loses all abilities, put a flying, first strike, and lifelink counter on that creature. So you can take creatures and turn them into a slightly different kind of creature. How does that benefit us? Why would we want to take abilities away from our creatures? Well, if we have creatures that have bad abilities, but are really strong big creatures, we can make them much better. For example, Traxos is a 7/7 for only 4 mana, but it enters tapped and it doesn't untap, and it's got all these bad things about it that it's hard to use. But with Abigail, you can turn Traxos into a 7/7 flying lifelink first strike creature for 4 mana. You can do this with lots of other cards in this deck that I've put in here. Rock Curse, Rock Sasha. For 2 mana, you get a 5/5 flying lifelink first strike creature. And that is the power of Abigail. This is a very aggressive deck. You want to be swinging in constantly, but the lifelink and the flying are the crucial parts because it's going to be hard for some of your opponents to even block some of these creatures. Outside of all these big creatures that have negative effects that we're avoiding with Abigail, the rest of the deck, it has some removal in it, not a ton. Better Triumph, Fatal Push, a few of those types of cards. And then it also has a lot of flicker effects. We have cards like Cloud Shift, Ephemerate, Airbender's Reversal, etc. And those are to flicker Abigail, bringing our bird back onto the battlefield to give another creature those abilities. This card is deceptively good. So let us take Abigail, Eloquent first year, into the queue and see if we can get some value from some bad creatures. Let's go. Very first matchup is against Rofellos. Not really a fair matchup, but we're gonna try it anyway. This could be difficult to say the least. Oh, he has a ley line of binding too. Okay, let's get out our sentry here. If you're not familiar with Rofellos, you probably don't play an arena because this is the commander I get paired against the most versus any of them. Let's go ahead and get Abigail here. We're gonna put a counter on our sentry who's now flying. We're gonna swing in for 4. Opponent's gonna get out Rofellos. Luckily, we did draw a way of getting rid of Rofellos. Let's go ahead and get lost Rofellos. And that is enough to set our opponent back. We're gonna swing in for 5. On our turn, we're gonna ramp, get out our next creature, probably flicker Abigail to swing in for a massive hit. I do think even if he gets out Rofellos again, that we have won our first game against one of the strongest commanders in Arena, period. Good first game. Our second game is against Doran, Besieged by Time. Very strong commander. This hand is kind of slow. Actually, it's very slow. I'm gonna mulligan this. This hand has all black cards, basically, except for the teleportation circle and no black mana. So that's no good. This hand is Okay. We still can't do anything till turn probably 3 or 4. I don't know. I'm gonna mulligan again. Okay, so we did have a Monothist. We do have some Flicker. We are going to have to get rid of 2 cards though, so that's gonna be prove to be a huge problem. Let's go ahead and get rid of one of our Flicker cards and then Yawgmoth. I'm just going to try to be as aggressive as possible. Our opponent does get to go first as well, and he has a Lane of War Elf, so we're already in serious trouble here. Let's get out the Sentry. I'm just going to try to be as aggressive as possible and just hope we can kill our opponent before they can do anything crazy. We're also going to need some more mana here if I want to get out the Shakedown Heavy. Okay, he has a Dawnbringer. Probably a good idea on his part to gain some life. That was a good call. All right, we did not get our land, which is scary. I'm going to go ahead and make the Monothist Sentry stronger, start getting some life. We really need to draw land here or we're going to lose. Okay, opponent has an Assault formation. Okay, he's going to swing in. We're not blocking with Abigail for sure. Did get the 3rd land here. Let's go ahead and get out the Shakedown Heavy. I'm going to swing in for 5 here. Opponent has Doran. Is he going to swing in? He is, I guess. Comes a 7/7. With this game, I'm just going for all-out speed and aggression here. Let's go ahead and flicker Abigail. And we're going to give the token to the Shakedown Heavy. We're going to swing in with both of our creatures doing 10 damage and gaining 10 life. I'm going to go ahead and get out the Moon Shadow. Our opponent is down to 6. So he's going to... Ooh, Elish Norn. Wow. And Hushbringer. Okay. That's pretty good. $17 damage. I'm going to go ahead and block Doran with Abigail. If we draw land, we can actually cast Abigail again and use it on the Moon Shadow. The Moon Shadow is going to get stronger. Okay. How does Hushbringer work? Don't cause abilities to trigger. Creatures entering or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. Okay. Entering or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. So we can't use Abigail's ability against Hushbringer. That was pretty lucky for our opponent. I'm going to go ahead and swing. I'm going to just go for all out aggression here. So he's going to protect the Hushbringer. Okay. Let's kill off the Llanowar Elf. Now, can he kill us on our turn? I don't think so. Do we... I think we are going to go ahead and get out Abigail here. Just as a blocker. We just have to get one hit in. And we can win this game. We're at 37 life. Our opponent has 1 card left. Wow, our opponent is a pretty lucky person for the most part. He drew another creature with reach here. That's pretty lucky. Gonna hit us for what, 30 or 27? Okay. Our opponent just kind of top decked what they needed to survive in this game. It's pretty crazy, actually. Let's go ahead and take 17. Now, if we can draw a removal spell or... Okay, we did draw a removal spell here, but it may be too late. Yeah, if we had drawn this last turn, we would have been fine. I wonder if we had another land. Okay, we're gonna wait. We're not going to attack. Let's put a stop at combat. Man, our opponent got so lucky. So lucky here. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of Doran. Before combat. So he can't double everything. Let's see what our opponent does here. Our opponent, we have first strike, so that wasn't a good move. But we do take some damage here. Okay, let's cast the Desecration Demon. See what our opponent does here. Opponent is not going to kill that off. That first strike is really helping us quite a bit. We may have our opponent here. Let's see if he attacks in. Oh, okay. Your opponent's gonna swing in with Elish Norn, but I think we've actually got our opponent here. Let's go ahead and swing in. That our opponent, our creature has first strike. Whoo! That was a close game. I think our opponent forgot about first strike. Having those creatures on his side with reach, he kind of got lucky with the Hushbringer because that card kind of negated Abigail's ability. But we still had too much air power for our opponent to stop us. The life link too, even though our opponent was hitting us for 10, 15 damage, etc., we were gaining so much life that quite honestly, it didn't matter. So really good game. That was close. Our next game is against a new Alchemy Commander. I love having Dark Ritual in my hand, but maybe we go for the Desecration Demon? Turn 2? We're gonna try this. This could be risky, but I am not one to ever turn down Dark Ritual unless the hand is just completely bad. We're gonna go ahead and go for a Surveil land here. A plane. Probably not what we need right now. This is a new commander. It's a 3/3, and basically how this command, I've played against this once before. Basically, this commander just keeps creating mana by conjuring more and more Rite of Flame cards with Flicker and things like that. It's interesting, kind of. That's okay. More power to our opponent. Let's go ahead and cast Dark Ritual here. Let's get out our Desecration Demon. This is going to prove to be a problem for our opponent. It's a 6/6, which red and blue is going to struggle to deal with unless he has a bounce spell. Opponent has Ashling. We're going to have to be very aggressive against our opponent here. I think we can pull that off, but let's see if our opponent wants to sacrifice Ashling. He does not. Let's go ahead and put down our Cavern of Souls, and we're going to say Bird. Let's go ahead and get out Abigail here, and we're going to pump up our Demon here. Hit for a massive hit, do 6 damage. I'm hoping we can get out Enduring Tenacity here. We'll see. Opponent does have a decent amount of mana. Opponent does have his win con on the battlefield, which is scary. Opponent's gonna swing in for 1. I just hope our opponent cannot kill us this turn. We'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and get out the Enduring Tenacity. We're gonna swing in and also do 7 more damage. Our opponent's down to 4. I just hope our opponent doesn't have some sort of infinite combo. This is a really like kind of scary alchemy card that he has. We'll see. I just went all in on aggression here, so hopefully it pays off. Opponent has a Steamkin. Opponent has a bunch more mana. Honestly, I'm not really a big fan of this card at all. Okay, so our opponent has Brawl. Luckily, we do have a lot of life here.
Let's start by taking you out of the equation.
The question is can our opponent deal with our demon? Have I mentioned I don't really like this card very much? Opponent has 7 mana. But yeah, he doesn't have a big enough spell. So even though he does have a lot of mana, I recommend killing that alchemy commander as soon as it gets on the battlefield. It's a little too strong, quite honestly, for what it is. Basically, you run a situation where, as you can see, on one turn, he was able to just get all this mana and all this stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. But he doesn't have enough to close out the deal. On our turn, what we're going to do is swing in and kill our opponent. However, if he does have some sort of effect that can kill off the demon or stop it, etc., we can also flick. We have Slip on the Ring in our hand. We can flicker Abigail and then give Enduring Tenacity flying and swing in with that as well. So no matter what, we have won that game. But yeah, that commander is pretty ridiculous. Good game. Thank you, my friends, for watching another one of my videos. This one featuring Abigail, Eloquent First Year. Abigail is good in the right kind of deck. If you build it with a lot of cheap big creatures that have negative effects tied to them, Abigail can be a beast of a commander. I would put Abigail at probably a low B tier, and I was paired against a variety of decks, though I was paired against some very strong ones. And I'm not saying you're going to crush every single person you play against, but it is fun, and I did have a good win rate with this deck. The deck list is in the description below. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to leave a comment talking about Abigail or another commander you'd like me to look into, or what's your favorite kind of bird. I don't really care as long as I talk to you, part of the Magic community. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.